On the news tonight, Anambra State Executive Council approves more contracts on projects. Governor's wife, Mrs. Nunez, launches natural food supplements for children. Federal government to commence import duty waiver on food items next week. From the foreign scenes, hotel collapse in Germany kills 2 people. Before the news in details, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Anambra State Executive Council ANSEC has approved more contracts and projects for execution. The Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Wosu, disclosed this during a post-ESCO briefing in Awka, said that the erosion control project at Obo community in the Orumba North local government area by Anambra State Erosion, Watershed and Climate Change at a sum of 96,596,804 naira 96 kobo. Other jobs awarded are the construction of a specialist hospital at Fege on Inter-South local government area at a sum of 679,898,015 naira 26 kobo and 26 kobo. Duty trucks and equipment to Acha Brigade to enable them to do their job more efficiently. The items will cost the sum of 191,091,085,085 naira. ANSEC further approved the supply and installation of machines and equipment to retool Anambra State Hydrofoam and Concrete Agency at a sum of 472,991,789 naira 26 kobo. In a bid to transform Anambra State into a digital capacity of the country and a veritable destination for technology giants, ANSEC approved that Solution Innovation District (SID) should raise 1 million tribe of young tech experts in the state to give wealthy Indian Anambra diaspora and within the country the opportunity to participate in the development of their communities. The council also approved the creation of a public community-private partnership PCPP platform that will avail them real-time the state of their communities and how they can intervene. To promote leadership accountability for sustainable economic development, the Anambra State Council of Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, has organized an accountability conference in Awka, the state capital. The event held at Godwin Ezemo International Press Center attracted the presence of government officials and public servants, as well as featured recognition of NUJ patrons and veterans, with award presentations to deserving individuals. Joseph Ibocha covered the event and tells us more.
In his speech on leadership accountability and economic growth, the crucial role of media, Professor Clifford Nwanna from the Department of Fine and Applied Arts, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, noted that impunity becomes the order of the day where accountability is not guaranteed, and regretted that most African countries are still held on their knees by corruption, and that Nigerian leaders are yet to see the media as partners in the development of the country. He, however, said that the media have a lot to do in achieving leadership accountability and tasked journalists with the proper use of Freedom of Information Act and whistleblowing in achieving economic growth, just as he encouraged media's owners and wealthy individuals to help in organizing similar workshops for media practitioners.
With such high level of misrule and leadership deficiency, Nigeria became a theater of misinformation, Thank God for the media. People are doing a great work by trying to let people know what is happening. Otherwise, today you hear this, tomorrow you hear it. So that kind of misinformation, often directed by the government, and has created mistrust, and there are cases of misrepresentation.
In his opening remark, the chairman of the occasion, Chief Emeka Onwodenjo, thanked NUJ Anambra for the twin events, saying that all should be targeted in accountability discourse.
Accountability really is not just for the president and the government. Everybody is accountable. We are here today is to interact how we are doing what we are doing in our various places of work. how we are impacting life, what informations are going through. I think generally the problem we're having.
In their goodwill messages, the Anambra State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ejiofor, Chairman of Anambra State Local Government Service Commission, Barrister Vin Ezaka, the Transition Committee Chairman of Njikoka Local Government Area, Barrister Chinedu Ononeba, said Nigerians need to join efforts in solving the corruption problem of the country and not to leave it only in the hands of leaders, adding that in Anambra, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has remained prudent in managing resources of the state.
Our Nigerian society, that is one of the things our system is lacking, because the people in authority are not given adequate accountability of their stewardship, and that is exactly what we are suffering today in Nigeria.
Award recipients at the event including Chief Tabansi and Chief Mrs. Obikwelo commended NUJ members for shaping the future of the society through their practices and assured of continuous efforts in touching lives positively, as well as support to activities of the union. Anambra State Chairman of NUJ, Dr. Odogwu Emeka Odogwu, and the Chairman of the Event Planning Committee, Okpa Ewa, who thanked guests that attended the event and assured that media will continue to provide people with the information needed to advance the society.
Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has launched a natural food supplement to tackle malnutrition among children in the state. The governor's wife, who launched the product, known as Nonye's Healthy Living Pap in Oka, stated that the natural meal is wholesomely prepared supplement that provides children with all the necessary contents to boost their general immune system. We have details.
Nonye's Healthy Living Pap is made of 3 key ingredients, namely groundnut, corn, and soya beans, and is rich in vitamins B1, B2, B3, and iron. In her speech at the launch of the meal, the idea behind the journey is to rescue children with special nutritional needs, adding that in the medium term, she wants the state to move from the present second spot as a state with the lowest number of under 5 mortality to the first position and maintain the spot for as long as it takes. She noted that being aware of the prevalent protein deficiency among children in Nigeria caused by accessibility, availability, and affordability of food items, including protein sources, the goal is to close the gap by providing all-round effective intervention for homes and communities. Mrs. Soludo also noted, as the government continues to establish breakthrough strategies to completely beat malnutrition among children in the state, her NGO will provide intervention that supports those strategies to deliver effective results, taking note of heavy impacts of food insecurity and social and economic challenges on rural homes. They added that the intervention offers every child in Anambra State the opportunity to grow healthy and beat the threat of malnutrition. Earlier in his remarks, the Anambra State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, said that a seamless distribution pattern for the product distribution across the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. He added that every local government would have a non-referral center where the meal can be assessed, stating that each referral center will develop a database that feeds a central database with information about collection, monitoring, and progress, while every child who is on the meal would be consistently to ascertain their recovery progress. On her part, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ifio Binabo, commended Mrs. Soludo for providing the historical intervention and for leading from the front in a passionate bid to make Anambra State a referral point for health excellence in the country. Dr. Chioma Mbachu, a consultant pediatrician, and Mrs. Jane Omugo, a nutritionist, who were 2 of the resource persons who delivered keynote speeches at the event, said that Nonye's Healthy Living Pap boosts all the right nutritionists to correct malnutrition in children, including protein, healthy fat, fiber, carbohydrates, and zinc. Highlighting the event was the official unveiling and presentation of product cartons to representatives of each of the 21 local government areas, including the Transition Committee Chairman, the heads of designated medical facilities where the supplements can be accessed, among others.
In another news, Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has offered a full-time scholarship to Master Chukwuemeka Nwozo, the 8-year-old mathematics genius who was captured in a viral video some time ago. Mrs. Soludo, who announced the award after meeting the boy and his family, said that the scholarship is for the child's complete education in the best schools from primary to any level he wants to attain in life. Master Nwozo was seen in a video that has now gone viral, giving correct answers to different mathematical questions, including solving advanced formulas and numerical equations. Learning that the boy in the video was from Anambra State, Nibo in Awka South local government area, to be precise, Mrs. Soludo immediately launched in search and soon found his family. On invitation at the governor's lodge, Amobia, the governor's wife sat with the boy, his dad, and younger brother. To be sure, she brought a calculator closed and threw different questions on formulas, equations, and structures to him, to which he answered all correctly. The governor's wife then announced that she would sponsor the boy's education from his present primary class to any level of his choice and also build mentorship around him to help him reach his full potential. She noted that Chukwuemeka's breed is rare among mankind and pledged to give him all the support that he needs to grow. Mrs. Soludo also advised that the parents not to put him under pressure by forcing him up in classes, but instead allow him to walk at a pace that grows his talents better. As part of activities marking the 2024 Women's August meeting, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, assisted Sumtech in partnership with the State Ministry of Information, commenced the sensitization of women, starting with a planning meeting. In her address during the planning meeting, the UNICEF-led resource person in Anambra State, Mrs. Chineze George Ileka, said that this year's meeting will be different from the previous one because only 10 communities will be visited in each of the 21 council areas. She said that the mobilization officers, information officers, health educators, and lead facilitators will be part of the team, saying that the women will be sensitized on the importance of taking care of the child on the first 1,000 days of the child's life, starting from pregnancy to the first 9 months. Mrs. George Ileka further disclosed that during the planning meeting, women will be educated on human papillomavirus virus, HPV, popularly known as cervical cancer, maintaining that the illness can be prevented if girls between the ages of 9 and 14 years are injected as a way of prevention. Also speaking, the state health educator, Mrs. Uju Onwebuzna, noted that she will make sure that all the community mobilization officers work as a team to get the right result. In her contribution, UNICEF Desk Officer, State Ministry of Information, Mrs. Grace Onkwe, said that the sensitization will expose women to the challenges they are facing in improving the health of their children. Also speaking, the Director, National Orientation Agency, Anambra State, Mr. Idozie Ajebu, expressed satisfaction with the activities of UNICEF in Anambra State, adding that the state is always at the forefront in implementation of the UNICEF program as it concerns women and children. Still to come in the news tonight. Federal government to commence import duty waiver on food items next week. Hotel collapse in Germany kills 2 people. Here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. News returns shortly after the break.
What?
Sonia tomato mix, stand up, ouch. Sonia tomato mix, stand up, ouch. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stop? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Stand up, ouch. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up, ouch.
I'm in love. Oh, with you, of course, my darling.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
To the rest of the news. From the federal scenes, The federal government has announced that the guidelines for the suspension of custom duty and taxes on imported food items are to commence next week. In July, the federal government approved a 150-day duty-free window to allow the importation of maize, husked brown rice and wheat as part of measures to combat rising food inflation across the country. The initiative was based on the implementation of the Presidential Accelerated and Stabilization Advancement Plan. Speaking at the meeting of heads of security agencies in Abuja, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, said the implementation of the policy would commence once the guidelines are ready. He explained that a delay experienced in the implementation of the policy was to ensure that the interests of all the stakeholders, including farmers, were considered. From the foreign scenes in faraway Germany, 2 people, a woman and a man, have been killed in a collapse of a hotel in the western German municipality of Krove. 14 people were in the hotel in Krove when one story of the building collapsed at about 11 p.m. local time. Police said 5 people were able to get out of the building unhurt because they weren't in the part that collapsed, but others were trapped. According to Jörg Tusch, Fire and Disaster Protection Inspector for the Brunschkatal-Wischlik district, a rescue operation is ongoing, but reaching them is proving difficult because the collapse of one story left 2 ceilings lying on top of each other. From the world of sports, world champion Tobi Amusan qualified for the 100-meter hurdles semi-finals in the ongoing 2024 Olympics in Paris on Wednesday. Amusan led the pack of 8 athletes with 12.49 seconds, followed by America's Alicia Johnson with 12.61 and Jamaica's Janik Brown qualified with 12.84 seconds. Amusan is certainly among the favorites for the gold medal, but that won't come easy, contending with a strong field that includes the Bahamas' Devane Carlton, USA's Alicia Johnson, world champion Danielle Williams, and reigning Olympic champion Jasmine Camacho Quinn of Puerto Rico. The semi-finals will hold on Friday, August 9, while the final is slated for the penultimate day of the athletics event, Saturday, August 10. Before we go tonight, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on ABS Television. Okay.